Here's my smoke alarm collection. There's some of my rare boxes. You've seen those. The Sears, the Amway, and the Oster. Now, what I'm going to be doing is showing you some of this collection and telling you some of the memories I've had. You know, some of them, like I've already mentioned, like this. You know, I've already told you. But, for example, this one. This is the Kidda 101, even though it's basically a Probe 101. I had a Probe version that I got at Woolworth's in Janesville, Wisconsin. It was my second detector ever, if I remember right. Maybe third. But one of my very first ones. You saw that in my Wanted Alarms video, because I think I had marked it up back then. But anyways, yeah. Then it was on Webster, actually, once. He had a chemistry kit that he got for his birthday or Christmas or something, and he was sleeping and he got a chemical reaction caused a fire. So he opened up the room door and there's one out here. There's one in the hall that went off, or at least the sound effect of it did. Okay. Here's where all my fire alarms are too. There's your strobes, some of the other strobes, pull stations, horn strobes here, audio only devices there, something there, system smokes down there. So without further ado, let's get to this. I wish iOS had a pause function for its video, but it doesn't, sadly. So here's my first box. The 907, I think I mentioned that. My not really aunt, but cousin had one in her house. Again, I mentioned that the lightning struck it. Sunbeam, first time I saw this was in an ad in a magazine. It was a line art version of it. Then way back in the Goodwill in Janesville, there was one like that. So these are newer, of course. Let's see, first time I saw that, I can't even remember. I think maybe it was on KAL Fire Safety. This one, Fire Detector. See, I think it's 7077, yeah. Found this one in Fort Dodge, Iowa, at their Salvation Army. First one I've ever seen. And here's the AFC. Our family friends had this in their first house, in the upstairs, and then to their basement, they had a Presto 01/SD1. I think it was this one. Maybe it was the FD, but I think it was that one. Here's an SS770, or no, 750. This was in our laundry room. You can actually see that label was right here, and it was right by the fluorescent light. You saw that first alert that was in our laundry room. Here's this one. This was right there, so you can see where the UV actually has yellowed the plastic. I got that at our drugstore. It was a Black & Decker. Let's see, it's a SMK 100. First time I saw that was at a Kmart, brand new. There's that one you saw. It was from a church in Fort Dodge, Iowa. Cousin was getting married, and it was in the basement there. Here's a Jamison React RS1 square version. They also had this one too, which is a basically rebranded Fire-X. I'll get to that in a bit. But my brother and his wife had this in their house. Not this exact one, but one just like that. The first time I saw it. So, and then for some reason they took it down a couple months later and gave it to me. There's that one, of course. Again, the first time I saw it was when it was given to me. BRK83R. First time I saw that was, I was with my sister and we were at some type of store. And I saw the box for it. I think it was their gray box with kind of the grid lines. And yep, this is another of our old ones from my parents' house. This is in the upstairs hallway. See if I can get it. It's kind of hard on the iPad and this at bracket for 907. Of course, here's your family guards. What needs to be said about those? They're so common. I've seen them in a couple TV shows, like PBS Kids series Ghost Rider. Actually, there was one that actually had a big red lens here that flashed. It was in the back store of back room of a store, and he was smoking a cigar, and it was just, the smoke was just thick, and then it went off. But it sounded kind of like if you took the sound of a Commander 4, pitched it down a little bit and made it like to a 5.6. You know, like I said, we made the dome, or they made this into a bright red light that flashed. And I remember he said, "Oh, blast! It's cigar smoke, you stupid gizmo!" But then there was like a fire there, and one of the kids in the show was accused of it. But then here's a little factual error. They actually kind of looked through the crime scene, or the fire scene, and on the breaker box it said smoke alarm. But of course, you know, the general public won't think anything of it. And here's your normal first alerts. Sorry, first time I saw that was new. The gamma. The cover's also loose. What's wrong with it? Anyways, again, you've heard me talk about that. Cover for a Sears. This base is around here somewhere. And the first alert, SA79TA. Again, the base is around here somewhere. These were actually designed. Well, here's the base for the Sears. The 9-volt battery thing is missing. But anyways, these were designed to be, at least this one was designed to be put on a door. You know, like on the sunbeam over there. You'd hang it on the door and, you know, it would blend in with the wood a little more. Sadly, the base to this one, one of the catches broke off, so it doesn't want to stay on very well. There's that sunbeam. First time I saw that was on eBay. Here's the Code 1 CD32. They also had a battery-only version of it called the CD1. And of course, again, you've seen this one. But my grandma, in her apartment, had the CD1, the battery-only version of this. And then her apartment was unique. I think I've mentioned the building in my Auction Chronicles video. But anyways, there was no centralized fire alarm system. Basically, you had apartment here, central hallway, and here. And there was 3 of them. Basement, one above, and then a third one. And like I said, there was a central hallway that connected each. And there was basically just normal smoke alarms in the hallway. In fact, that's where this one came from. This was in the basement. Now let's get to this one. This is in the basement, the lower level. And what's unique about this is when the battery would get really low, it would let out a long beep before it would, you know, emit its normal beep. So it would go beep, beep. Sometimes we'd hear that. Now one time when I was down there, that was off the ceiling, and a new kitty micro profile was in its place, or Fire Sentry was in its place. Then a couple months later, I was taking some garbage out to the dumpster, and there that was, sitting there. There this was, sitting there in the dumpster, so. Anyway, there's just a normal first alert. And that kiddo with light, I think that's the one I showed you. My LED. That one, the Square D. Again, I mentioned that one in this video. Here's the Sears with the light, the cover. Jeez, I still cannot believe I broke that. It's gonna have nightmares on that for a long time. Here's the base to a FG777. The FG777. Again, I mentioned that one in its own video. It's a manual to something. Now this one's cool. I found this at the Salvy. They actually painted this, but in just such a way that they didn't obstruct the test button's LED, and you could still push it. So that's kind of unique. And here's this Firex. See, first time I saw that, I think it was actually on Home Time, in their basement remodeling series, or sub-series or whatever. They installed one of these there. And here's that one with the button. Saw that in the video. I think you saw these. I think I did a video on these, but these are just the hardwired and battery backup version. Firex. Here's, is this an 0462? Yep. Actually, the unique thing was, because they had the 0461, which had the white button, and then these. Now, when we were in Janesville, there was a hotel called Select Inn. This was like in the late 90s, and they had one of these in the room. I liked it so much. This isn't it, though. And I liked it so much. Get away, graphic. Stupid notification. You know, yeah, I liked it so much that I eventually ended up getting one. However, we took it down, and it was actually a Model A. So they accidentally put a clear button in it. Anyways, another Family Guard, and another one of these. Or no, this is just the normal version. That's the 125C. And the only time I can remember seeing that in the house is one that was up for auction in the basement. Again, that wasn't it, as you saw, because there's the Savers sticker on it. There's a newer Universal or USI. Another regular first alert. Oh boy, oh! I don't know. That one I mentioned, my best finds of 2014. Still need to do a video on that, even though when I hook it up, it starts to go off right away. Here's the Firex. Circuit board kind of broke off. These things snapped off. Here's a kit of wireless one. Got that at Menards. Is this one of them? I think this is one of them that I found in the Thrifting Chronicles video. And there's that. The Jameson React style line. Basically, yeah. Code 1 2000 style line design. Whichever. Here's the base to the 79. But as you can see, like I said, some of these, like this one's broken. And that one too, so the cover doesn't want to stay on very well. Here's the base to my Norelco. This cover's around. Now here, you know, you've seen those Family Guards, but this one's pretty rare. Let's see. Wait a minute. No, it isn't. It's the same cover. No. Spring Valley Mutual Insurance. I actually found this at Goodwill a couple years ago, and I picked it up just because it had that, of course. Black & Decker, you saw that several years ago. The Honeywell TC89B. Let's see, first time I saw this, I think it was in, I think it was an old book by Consumer Guide called Fire and Theft. That was a cool book. If you're into smoke alarms or burglar alarms, that was like, well, you know what. Because it had all kinds of smoke and burglar alarms in it. So I think that's the first place I ever saw that. Let's see, here's the base of the Sears. Wiring harness. Alright, let's get to the next box here. Alright, here's the next one. EGT 5S, you've seen that one. I think I mentioned the first time I ever saw that one was at, actually it was at a hotel. No, that was the 5B actually. The first time we ever saw one of this design was at a hotel. And there was a Mallory battery in it, so when Mom saw that in there, we thought it was a Mallory smoke alarm. Because this one was actually from the first box, but I switched the bases between these two. So this is the newer F900D Firenetics Lifesaver, but this is the one that has the electronic horn. Well, the older ones on the Sears, of course, had the electromechanical. Now this is my second one of these. My first one I actually found, I think I might have mentioned that in the Thrifting Chronicles episode, but or somewhere. Anyways, I was in the blind thrift store in Kansas City, or it's like something blind, like services for the blind or something. And I was in the tools and I heard this beep. So I knew there was an alarm in there, so I kind of searched through it and there it was. Now what was unique about that one was if I turned this, the piezo, its pitch would actually change. Here's what they sound like. But yeah, if I turned it like this, the pitch would change. But this one pretty much stays the same. So here's the covers to it, right? Yeah. I think you saw that one, the BRK. A couple of the covers. And the base to a 76 RS. I guess I could tell you about that. We had one in Janesville, Wisconsin, the one with the larger front or larger center with the lone hole right there. And we had it in the kitchen, so it would go off anytime Mom would fire up the broiler. I'm thinking of doing sometime a video on my memories and probably go into detail more on that.